John Wick Chapter 4, the long-awaited installment in the John Wick franchise, hit theaters on March 24th. And already, the fans are eating it up. John Wick movies are always jam-packed with action and crazy stunts, but this one in particular has really upped the stakes. But you won't believe what star Keanu Reeves said the hardest part of the film was. Here are Keanu Reeves' thoughts on the hardest skill he had to learn for John Wick. First off, can we just appreciate Keanu's dedication to his roles? Like, seriously. Having an actor who is willing to do as many of their own stunts as possible is pretty hard to come by, not to mention impressive. And when it comes to the John Wick franchise, fans always expect the next installment to do more and more. Each film in the series so far has successfully upped the ante and brought us some absolutely insane fight scenes. So it's really no surprise that it takes Reeves months to train for each installment. But was John Wick 4 any different? Absolutely not. Reeves apparently trained for over 3 months to keep up with the new demand on his figure. He was already perfectly in shape and a fighting machine. So the fact that he had to train for that long implies some serious stunts. Well, I'm happy to report that with John Wick Chapter 4, you will not be disappointed. As usual, Reeves performs most of his own stunts, from car chases to explosions to deadly fights and shootouts. Yup, there's plenty for any action movie fan to love with this newest addition to the franchise. But now that we know how crazy the movie is, and how hard Reeves had to train to get ready for the stunts, it just makes you wonder what the most difficult part of filming the movie was. What was so intense and hard to pull off that Reeves had to train non-stop for months? It must be something really big, considering the stakes of the last film now have to be outdone. So what does Keanu think the hardest part for him was? Well, he recently talked about all things stunts in an interview, giving fans a good idea of what to expect in the new and exciting movie. Wondering what he had to say? I'll tell you. It might just surprise you. Although Reeves has starred in at least 75 films, he says that this one challenged him like no other role ever has. In fact, he thinks that John Wick 4 might just take the cake for the most challenging role in his entire career. Pretty crazy, right? Yeah, he said that John Wick Chapter 4 was the hardest physical role he's ever had. Pretty unbelievable, I know. But once you see the movie, you'll see what he means. Because this movie does not hold back. Reeves said, "They really trained me up to be able to have what we call the toolbox." Interesting. Also, if your favorite part of action movies is the car scenes, you won't be disappointed by this one. Because Keanu says that this movie takes the car driving to the next level. And apparently, he's a big fan of it as well. He said that he really enjoyed filming these next-level car chases and crazy car stunts. So fans who are looking forward to that will definitely not be disappointed. With the film taking place in huge cities all over the world, things are sure to get interesting. There's 180s, forward into reverse 180s, reverse into forward 270s, drifting. So it was really fun to get a chance to learn those skills into play, said Reeves. Wow. The fact that he's been in dozens of action-based roles, and yet he still has more to learn in roles like this is mind-blowing. So there you have it. The most challenging part of filming John Wick 4 was by far the car stunts and chase scenes. Even a seasoned action movie actor like Keanu Reeves has a hard time every now and then. But still, his dedication to the role really shines through, especially because he's willing to train for months to get the stunts right himself. That just proves how committed he is to the role. He's willing to put in the time and effort to do his own stunts. And doing them completely on your own? That's just straight up impressive. Speaking of impressive, did you know that the third John Wick film grossed $327.3 million worldwide? That's nothing to fuss about, that's for sure. Especially considering that the sequel, John Wick Chapter 4, has already outnumbered the first 3 films' box office debuts last weekend. Talk about impressive. But let's get back to talking about the 4th installment. For example, what is it about? We know that it's going to have some serious epic car chases and high-stakes fighting scenes. But what exactly is going down in this one? Well, fans can expect a bit of a different vibe. The film follows John Wick as he aims to take down the High Table, a mysterious criminal organization attempting to destroy them for good. This journey takes him across the globe, traveling from New York to Paris to Japan to Berlin, all while he has a target on his back. It's a super captivating premise, And now that we know just how insane the action in this movie is going to be, it makes it even more exciting. Plus, with the film taking place all over the world, we can expect all kinds of beautiful scenery and interesting scenarios that we haven't seen before in John Wick. But the release of the film does raise another question. Will there be more John Wick films in the future? Well, currently, we don't really know. It's a bit confusing, but let me explain. You see, back in August 2020, Lionsgate CEO John Feltheimer made the announcement that John Wick 5 was already in the works. But this was actually before the fourth installment had even begun filming. This isn't entirely unheard of in Hollywood, but it's still a bit fast. Anyway, that announcement actually ended up backfiring pretty badly. The original plan for the next two films, John Wick 4 and 5, was to shoot them back to back. Obviously, that didn't end up happening. So John Wick 5 is actually nowhere near done. In fact, it's not even in production right now. Do we have any updates on this yet? Well, kind of. Recently, director Chad Stahelski said in an interview that he and Keanu are done for the moment, meaning that they're going to be taking a break from the franchise until further notice, which isn't exactly a firm no to making a follow-up film after Chapter 4, but it isn't exactly good news for fans of the franchise. But do you want to hear some actual good news? The new John Wick film actually managed to successfully set up 2 new spin-offs. Crazy, right? But what are these spin-offs? And can we expect to see Keanu Reeves as John Wick in either of them? The first one is an upcoming movie called The Ballerina, and it's set to come out in 2024. The film stars Ana de Armas, and does in fact feature a cameo from John Wick himself. The other is an upcoming Peacock show called The Continental, and it's going to give us some backstory on the John Wick universe as it's a prequel series. So the bottom line is, great and exciting things are coming to the John Wick universe, but we may not get another main series film for a while. But that's okay, as long as we get to see Keanu do more death-defying stunts in his other appearances, right? Well, those were Keanu Reeves' thoughts on the hardest skills he had to learn for John Wick 4.